everyone, welcome back to Feed Your Body, Mind and Soul. And if this is your first time here, I'm Vishwa and I host this show. So today's video, we're going to follow a slightly different format and we're going to have tips throughout the video instead of having a pro tip at the end. We're going to talk about lentils and beans, which belong to the family of pulses, and they also include soybeans and chickpeas, which you must be familiar with already. So we'll make two simple recipes and we'll also discuss about tips on how to reduce bloating when you use these lentils and beans. So let's get started. Before we start, can I please remind you to like, share and subscribe if you like my content, and it will mean a lot to me. Time to get started. So I have taken out all the dry pulses, the lentils and beans that I have in my pantry, just to show you that there are so many varieties of them that you can actually get. The best place to source them is from like an Indian store. They are really cheap and very easy to use as well. So I can show you the different ones. So these are the mung beans, which is most commonly used. These are the split variety. There are also these green whole mung beans, and we are going to use this in one of our recipes, and these are the ones that use for sprouting. Now we have tur dal, which is used for making lentil soups and South Indian delicacies like sambar. Then I have black-eyed beans, which is a very meaty bean with umami flavor. Moth beans, which are cooked just like mung beans, but they taste different. Then I have urad dal, which is used for South Indian pancakes, the famous masala dosa, and for seasoning. Then I have green lentils that cook quickly and great for salads. Have some black turtle beans for Mexican dishes. Red chowli beans, which are recommended for winter. And now comes my favorite lentils, horse gram, which is great for immune health in winter. I'll leave the recipe link in description. I also have some mixed beans. Again, there's a recipe with quinoa with them. I've got mixed split lentils, great for soups. And then these are white peas, which we use in Indian street food. And then I have some chana dal, which is used for seasoning, and it's also great for making vegan meatballs and masala vada. So I also have canned beans in my pantry. I usually buy cans with single ingredients. And when I buy canned beans, I try to buy beans that are in water rather than salt, because the excess salt can cause bloating, and that's my first tip. Now, these are for days when I don't have time to come back home and cook from scratch. Quick fixes. I also keep beans in my freezer. I have some edamame beans. I also have some, I think this is freshly frozen pigeon peas, and some freshly frozen black-eyed beans. I have several others in the freezer. These cook really quick because they're fresh, and they also taste yummy. Now let's get cooking. The first recipe we're going to make is a sauteed mung bean mixed vegetables. For this, we first need to cook our mung beans. To a pan, add 3 cups of hot water. I have soaked 1 cup of mung beans in 2 cups of water for roughly 6 hours. And soaking is my second tip to prevent bloating, and I'll explain to you why. Eating large quantities of beans is known to cause flatulence due to presence of oligosaccharide compounds. We humans don't have the enzymes to break down these in the small intestine, so when they reach the large intestine, our gut bacteria act on these oligosaccharides and produce gas, causing bloating and discomfort in some people. So by soaking, you could reduce this. Either you can soak overnight or for at least 6 to 10 hours before cooking, and make sure you discard the water that you used for soaking. If you can discard this water several times, then it is more efficient at removing these oligosaccharide compounds than just doing one single soak. Now, add half teaspoon of turmeric. This also helps digestion, and this is my tip 3 to reduce bloating. These mung beans can take anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes to cook, depending on how long you have soaked. If you want to get them cooked in like 5 minutes, use a pressure cooker, and it's absolutely fine to use a pressure cooker to cook your lentils. And in fact, it could also make it more digestible. So while our mung beans are cooking, let's prepare our vegetables. First, chop 1 small onion. I tend to use my chopper for speed and efficiency, and you would have seen this in many videos of mine. Now chop 4 cloves of garlic, and then followed by 3 green chilies. We also need 4 small carrots for the recipe. So first cut them into rounds. Then move the onion, garlic, chili mixture to one side of the chopper bowl and chop the carrots, saving on washing up. It's pretty quick if you use nice and fresh carrots. Job done. Looks great. To check if the beans have cooked, try mashing with a spoon or fork. Okay, this needs to cook for a little more, maybe for about 2 more minutes. While the dal is cooking, let's look at another tip to reduce bloating. This is tip 4. If you are using canned beans, it is important that you rinse thoroughly with water to remove all the gas-forming compounds. The liquid around chickpeas is called aquafaba, and we need to wash it in such a way that the water around the chickpeas runs clear. This also helps to remove the excess sodium, which can also be responsible for your bloating. So let's continue with our cooking. To a pan on high heat, add half a tablespoon of coconut oil. Once the oil is warm, add 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds. Let it bloom. Adding spices enhances the antioxidant content of the meal. It also enhances digestibility, thereby reducing bloating. So that's our tip 5. You can use cumin seeds, you can use fennel seeds, you can use carom seeds or popularly known as ajwain for this purpose, and they all work great with dal. Now add curry leaves to the oil. Add in the onion, garlic and green chili mixture that we've chopped as well. Now saute for about 30 seconds. Add 2 dry red chilies which are split. Try and use a mild variety. Now add 2 small freshly chopped tomatoes with the juice and all. Our next ingredient is asafoetida or heng. You need about half a teaspoon. Ideally, it's added to the oil just after the cumin seeds. However, better late than never. Asafoetida has an oniony, garlicky flavor, and if you're on a low FODMAP diet, you can use it instead of onion and garlic. And by now you must have guessed, it reduces bloating too. That was tip number 6. Give a mix. Add in 5 black peppercorns and 1 teaspoon of salt. Mix well. Now add in the chopped carrots. Mix well to coat, and then add 150 grams of frozen or fresh green peas as per your choice. Give a mix. You can also add half a teaspoon of tamarind paste at this stage, but this is completely optional. Give a couple of minutes for the carrots, peas to blend with the rest of the ingredients, and then add the cooked lentils. You know the lentils are cooked when they're actually easily mashable with a spoon or fork. Now, this is tip number 7. Cooking lentils to a mashable consistency also helps with the digestion and reduces bloating. Now add in spinach leaves as much as you want. Add a little bit more of water. I'm adding about half a cup. Cover and cook for further 2 minutes. As you can see, our spinach is wilted and our green beans are becoming a lot more mushier. Mix well to combine. Check that all the lentils are well cooked with a fork if you want to again. Now add in 100 grams of coconut. This is for seasoning and it's optional again. Add in some coriander leaves or herbs, the better antioxidant value meal is going to have. Mix everything well and switch off the flame. Leave it to stand for about 5 minutes and all the water will get absorbed. Our sauteed mung bean mixed vegetable curry is ready to serve. You can add a dash of lime while you serve for that extra dose of vitamin C if you want to. Now for our tip number 8. Sprouting improves nutritional value and enhances digestibility, and it's another way of reducing bloating. Please check out my blog post. I will leave a link in the description box for the benefits of sprouting and how to sprout. You can sprout mung beans, moth beans, mixed beans, chickpeas, pretty much every lentil and bean that you can think of. So now let's make our second recipe. It's a pretty quick recipe. So we're making sprouted mixed lentil curry. For this, to a pan on high heat, add half a teaspoon of oil. Once warm, add 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. Let it bloom. Next, add a sprig of curry leaves. And then comes 1/4 teaspoon of asafoetida. Like I said, better when it's added to the oil. Now add 1 small chopped onion and 200 grams of mixed sprouted lentils. Any variety is fine. Add in 3/4 teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of turmeric, and 3/4 tablespoon of coriander powder. Add a cup of water. Mix well to combine. Cover and cook for about 3 minutes. So while our sprouts are cooking, let's make a coconut paste. To do this, to a blender add 1 cup of fresh or frozen coconut as per your choice, 2 tablespoons fennel seeds, they're great for digestion, then 4 green chilies, half an inch piece of ginger, 1 clove of garlic, 1 teaspoon of garam masala. More spices, more antioxidants. Blend everything to a fine paste. Now for tip number 9, to reduce bloating, ginger is really helpful. Ginger has anti-inflammatory properties and it soothes the muscles of the digestive tract. When we were little and we had tummy pain due to trapped twin, my mum used to give us freshly made hot rice with ginger powder and a little bit of ghee, and it was really effective. Open the lid, add in the coconut paste, and then wash out the blender with 1 cup of water and also add this to the pan. Now mix everything well, let it boil. Initially, the curry looks like it's frothy, then it slowly settles down and the white color turns yellow, and that's when you know it's actually cooked. It takes about roughly 5 minutes. You don't have to check if the lentils are cooked at this stage because they are sprouted and they cook very quickly, but if you still want to go ahead, try mashing with a fork to make sure that it's completely cooked. Our sprouted mixed lentil curry is now ready to serve. My favorite part, plating up. First, a beautiful sauteed mung bean and mixed vegetables. This can either be eaten hot or cold with rice or quinoa plus yogurt and nuts for a wholesome meal or just on their own. Now for tip number 10, always remember to drink plenty of water when you eat a fiber-rich meal, as the fiber draws water into your bowels from your blood and you can get dehydrated. However, don't drink fizzy drinks, caffeinated drinks or juices because this can interfere with nutrient absorption. Now another tip, which is tip 11, is don't increase your fiber content all of a sudden. Just go gradually. Now for the sprouted mixed lentil curry, it's best served warm with whole grains or bread of your choice. Pancakes, dosa, chapatis or just brown bread. For the final tip, which is tip number 12, always eat mindfully without distractions, particularly your phone. Enjoy the aroma, savor the beautiful textures and the flavors, and chew well to start the digestion in your mouth. So I hope you found this video useful and my recipes inspiring so that you will include more lentils and beans in your cooking. The reason I wanted to do this video was because I wanted to emphasize the importance of adding fiber in your diet. An average adult requires about 30 grams of fiber per day, and in the UK, we are only taking about 18 grams per day of fiber. So this is not enough clearly. Fiber is important to reduce our risk of heart disease, stroke, bowel cancer and type 2 diabetes as well. So I thought using lentils and beans in your cooking now and again is a nice way of actually having protein with the added benefit of fiber. So I hope you go ahead and make a lot of lentils and beans from today. So that's it for today. This is Vishwa signing off for Feed Your Body, Mind and Soul. Stay happy, stay healthy. Bye.